Capital investment versus my own used real estate. I will be discussing this today with Sabine Krauß, top independent financial advisor on WhoFinance in Mannheim and the area. Sabine is specialized in helping expats in Germany finding a real estate. I'm Fabienne and this is Fabienne Finds Finance. Sabine, I'm not sure if I prefer my own capital investment or my own used apartment. Could you explain to me a little bit about capital investment?
Hi, Fabienne. Thanks for having me today there. Yes, it's a very interesting topic. Yeah, I would like to start with the capital investment. And the capital investment, why do people this? They want to create a passive income. So they want to live not directly, but later on from their own money. And when people ask me, I always say there are three main points, and this is location, location, location. So at the end, the main point is, where do you buy your capital investment? This is pretty important for what kind of rent do you get, but also when you want to sell it in 10 or 15 or 20 years, what price do you get for this again? So this is a very important thing. And why do people do this? There are more or two things. It's one, the rentability has to be great. And a lot of people also do it building up a retirement provision. Because when you do an insurance, it is not as good as a rented apartment. Good. What is the main problem? You have a third risk. Because when you live by your own, then it is your apartment. You are liable for everything, but now you have a tenant in. So what is a tenant doing? Is he always paying his rent in time? Is he damaging something? Do you have a messy person? And if there are any problems, the bank does not wait till you solve the problem because you have to pay your rent. So I think this is one thing what a lot of people do not really consider. You also have the normal problems like burst water pipe or something like this. So it is also important to have reserves. If something happens, you have to pay on top. Okay, let me give you a little example. It is not really Berlin because Berlin is more expensive, but let's take an apartment for 200,000 and you have more or less extra costs of 10%. So it's 210,000 you need. Then it really helps you if you have 10% as equity. Otherwise, it's difficult to find a bank today. The advantages of a capital investment is you can deduct the interests, you can deduct the depreciation, you can deduct the buying costs, you can deduct the additional costs, and these like when you have to repair something, that all is deductible. And what's the very, very important thing is your tenant pays your apartment off. So after 25 years, it is paid off and you have more or less paid 10,000.
And what could be the advantage of me having my own used apartment?
Yeah, there we have to differentiate a little bit who you are. Let's go a little bit later and have a family. So a family usually wants to have their own home to feel comfortable. They have their kids growing up. They want to have a garden. They want to have something green. And for them, it is definitely more important to look, is there a good school? Is there a good kindergarten? Is there a good infrastructure, stores, train, and. But it needn't be the middle of the city. Now, come back to you. You are young, so you would like to have your own apartment. So for me, it also makes sense that you buy your own apartment instead of paying your monthly rent. You pay your monthly rate to the bank, and then you can consider probably after 3-4 years, you say, oh no, this is not the apartment anymore. So you buy something else and rent out the old. So you can switch your own used apartment to a capital investment. And this you can make a couple of times till you find your final dream house. Yeah, this is more or less the same. Financing is not such a difference, especially in nowadays time where we have a lot of problems. Banks are a little bit more reluctant with capital investments. So you will find a bank who also would finance 110%, not in a capital investment, or very seldom. In a own used, We will find a bank. That is not a problem. Yeah, and then it also depends on your life. What will you be in 5 years still in Berlin? Probably you do not know. So times have changed a little bit more. You have to be more flexible. So would you like to buy today a big home? Probably not, because you do not know. If you look for your own house, you always are interested that everything is nice. The bathroom should look a little bit nicer, and so you invest money in something what a tenant would not pay to you. So you have definitely differentiate where do you pay with which price. So you might buy something in the middle of Berlin, a nice new house, and an end where you say from the rentability standpoint it would not make sense, but I love the area, I want to be in the new house, and then you pay for it. And the same is also with a family. They pay amount which for a capital investment would be uninteresting. So then I would suggest that you say, would you like to start with your own use, a little one, and later on go to another one and keep it as an investment, and then you look how your life planning is going on. And there was one last thing I would like to add this for the capital investment, because we have a lot of interesting people. You have to have a lot of work with this. So you have to switch the tenants, you have to make repairing, and then you also have the possibility to choose someone who takes care of everything. So you buy a complete property management that you normally have in an apartment anyway, but you can buy it on top as an extra property management, meaning you pay more, meaning you're lowering your rentability. And then at the end, it's a question of rentability.
And how do I find the best apartment for me?
Fabienne, I would like to be practical in this. I think you go in ImmoScout, ImmoNet, ImmoWorld, find something, and then we sit once together in another video call and calculate this through. Because then we could also go back to the points I raised. Is it a rented one? Is it a own use one? And then you can clarify this a little bit. But at the end, you have to go over the social medias or the nets like ImmoScout, ImmoNet, ImmoWorld. You can also look for real estate agents and neighbors, friends. They sell apartments too.
Thank you so much.